Hello everyone, this is Becca from Willow Hill Designs and welcome. Today this is just a short video to show my progress on the still life for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery project. I'll just move that out of the way. And that would be prompt number 2, which was the second vase. And here it is right here. Here's the second vase that I've added. Excuse me, and this vase was made out of a linen napkin, and let me just show a little close-up here of it. This was made out of a linen napkin, and what I've done here is just stitch this flap that I folded down. This was the corner of the napkin, and I just folded it in such a way that made it kind of be centered here on the vase, excuse me, and then drew the vase from there. So that's all stitched down so that it looks like it's just all part of the vase and not flapping up. And let's see, I also did some embroidery on here in a number 12 pearl cotton, and just some little flowers and lazy daisy stitches for leaves, and this is number 12, I think I said. And I just thought I would give the vase some texture, sort of like a little design and relief on it, so that was added to the vase. And then of course this was appliqued down, and I also made this little stand for the vase. We had just sent flowers to someone, Get Well Flowers, and it was just such a cute vase, almost like a rose bowl, and then it was on a wooden stand, and I thought that was so cute. So I made a little stand out of this fabric. Let's see if I have any. Excuse me, yes, I do have a piece, and it kind of looks like burled wood to me, or maybe just, I guess, the insides of tree trunks, trees cross-cut so that you can see the rings in the grain. So I thought that would be interesting, add a little bit of some interest to this stand. So I made that little stand here, and then I added the branches for the pussy willows, and those are made from a waxed cord that is used for beading, and I really don't know much more about it than that. I'm really not a beader, other than just adding the occasional bead to a quilt, beads here and there, maybe on flowers. I have made some little fairies, some little people, like Sally Mavor has done, but I don't know too much about that, other than you could tell this was waxed. And so I couched those stems down after appliquing the vase and the stand, and then once the stems were in the vase, I closed this vase and stitched that down as well, being that you can't really show the roundness so much of it. And these little blue marks that you see on here are the marks that I just sort of wanted to give myself an idea of where to put the pussy willow little buds that would be on there, or little blooms, I guess they may be, not quite sure. So this gives me an idea, and I didn't really have any silk for that. I'd like to do those in silk, because pussy willows do have that look to them. And I had showed previously this this box of silks. This was a box that a friend gave me with delicious treats in it. I love this box. Came in handy, and these were the silks that I got free from that quilt shop. And there really was no gray in here or silver color. The closest was this, and it's kind of a lavender. It is a light lavender, and I thought, I don't think I want to take the chance with that. They may look like little purple flower buds. So I did order some silver or gray in this Vineyard Classic Silks. I love, love, love working with them. They are beautiful. really beautiful threads to work with. I did a lot of the embroidery on these flowers with that silk, and it is just beautiful to work with, and it's kind of a nice thickness that it works up quickly too, which is nice. And of course I want these to have a little bit of dimension, the pussy willows, so I'm waiting for that gray, which I think is supposed to come tomorrow. Today is Friday. It's supposed to come Saturday, so hopefully I will get these done in time for the next and the third prompt. And so that's the vase. I think the vase is pretty much done, other than adding the pussy willows to that. And I probably should leave that in there. And I've also thought I would use that same waxed cord. This is all actually that's left of that I had, this little package of it. And I just folded it in half and then wound it around itself. And I will be using that up here on the window like that. So that will kind of give some definition also to the piece. And what I was trying to emulate there, I'll show you here on my iPad. In one of our bedrooms, I have put this, let's see, I guess you would call it a garland, this garland up here. And I just love that look. It's kind of a very nature-ish inspired look to me. And so that's what I was thinking of doing here on this curtain. And as you can see, actually the walls here match the colors on my piece. Let's see, I think I have another one here. Here's another window with that garland up there on top, and I just love that look. It has kind of a woodland look to me. So that's what I'm going for here with this. Putting this up here, and I'll try, if I can, to add some branches maybe to it, and maybe some berries, just to sort of give it that kind of a woodland feel on here. Not so much the kind of a swag look to it, but more as if it's a branch that has been taken from the woods and put on this window to hold this little valance up. So I think that's it so far. Oh, I forgot to mention that I did also sew these books down that I was planning to add here. Let me take that off. I did sew the books down because I wanted something behind this vase. I didn't just want this vase sitting here. I wanted something interesting behind it, and I did stitch this little bird on, and he is the mate, or she, I think maybe it's the she's the mate to this little bird up here. I can zoom out so that you can get a better idea. So this little guy, I think this is the female down here. She's sitting on these books. They both flew in when the window was open one day. They were airing this little cottage out, and didn't have a screen on the window yet. It must be spring. And so these little birds came in. This is, I think, the male up here looking down at the female. So I did sew her, and she is thread painted with wool and some pearl cotton, just like this, the little male up at the top here. He is also thread painted the same way with wools and pearl cotton. So those two features were added behind the vase before I actually stitched the vase down. And one of the things that I did notice, because of all this heavy stitching over here to the right with the flowers and the vase and everything, this on this side was kind of buckling or puckering up, kind of looping up almost like this. If you can see on this side, it's kind of coming up. And I think it's just because this has been drawn in, and this, of course, is not as heavily stitched, so it's a little bit looser. And the two tensions don't go with each other. That this needs to be the same amount of tension on fabric as it is here. So what I've done here was I just did a running stitch with some ivory pearl cotton, and I just kind of pulled it a bit to take out some of that pucker there. And so I may do that, or I may just put the whole thing up on my design wall and block it. I may just spray it with water and block it, just depending. But I don't know if anyone else may have that problem where there are different densities of stitching on your piece, and you may have some buckling, although if you're going to mount it on a stretcher bar canvas, I suppose it really wouldn't matter. But for me, this is just going to be a wall hanging. This isn't going to be on a canvas. So I kind of had to address that. And I guess I'm kind of approaching this as a quilter. That's the quilter in me. It's just not going to go away. It's the way that I think, and when I design something, I approach it from that perspective. I designed quilts for a few magazines for years, for McCall's and Quilt Maker, Quilt Magazine, and so that's just kind of, my brain works that way. When I think of a design, that's how I approach this. So I think this is a little bit quilterly, probably more than that really rustic slow stitch method, but this is just the way I interpret my slow stitching. So thank you very much for joining me today and for spending some time. I appreciate it. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.